Guys, let's talk particles today. So this small game builder comes with default ones. So if you go right click on one of your maps, go to map settings, here in environmental effects, you click that and it comes with some. So if we want to take a look at some, let's go ahead and choose one, hit OK, and then you'll start. It's hard to see that one, but you can see it's raining. Let me choose a different one so you can see it better. Let's choose storm. You know what? Let's make the terrain dark so you can see that a little better. There you go. So you can kind of see it's raining, right? The thing about these is these are default. You can't add any more on here, and these are for the whole map. So whatever you put on here is just going to be played on the whole map, so when you're moving around, it kind of just rotates. So another way to add these, where you can add them but it'll only be stuck to a certain area, let's go ahead and turn that off. Oh, and you can edit these through the system, but you might want to make a backup in case you ever want to go back to it. Like I edited this cold wind, it was just green leaves, but I made my own leaves and I made them pink, so you can kind of see them here, and I have them like rotating. I sped them up and I did them linear. I think that's what changed. But yeah, let me show you how to create your own over here. So if you go to events, go to effects, there's some already here pre-made. You can click them and then place it down, and then you'll see it, right? So we hit OK, and then you'll see them generate there, but they're not over here, so they only generate in the area wherever you put them. And so if we select it, where is it? There it is. You can also overwrite some of these, or you can make your own, and I'll show you how to make your own. But you can just pick one of these, set it down. Once you have your own, you hit change graphic, and then you want to go under the particles here. It should be in 3D particles, and then you'll see the ones that you made. So I changed the fire to make it look more cartoony, took it into Photoshop and just drew some fire, and then so that's kind of what it looked like. But if we place it down, I think that's it. Yeah, I think it was more like this. So I made this, so if we actually place this down, you get a better view. See, it's more cartoony. And you can control, these are just images playing, and I'll show you how to change that real quick, or actually not real quick. So if you actually go to the website, the Smile Boom website, and you go all the way at the bottom, and then you go to help, and there's a section, different PDFs, and the very last one on there is about particles. So when you click it, you actually get this, and this is a list of all the values on how to change things. So this is kind of like your key. If you don't understand what something does, just come back and look at this and it'll kind of explain it. So for example, each, let me open one up. So each particle thing comes like this, and you just have all these numbers here, and you're kind of looking at this thinking, whoa, what is all this stuff? But like, say you're like air drag, what's that, right? So you come over here and look at this and go to air drag here, and that's just air resistance. So you can move this value, change the number up or down, and that'll affect if it gets pulled or not. So just change this number. So how you get to this, let me show you that now. we want to go to add assets, and they're actually going to be stored here. Normally when you bring in an object or a character or pictures or sounds, anything through here, you hit add and you can add it, but it doesn't read the particles. You can't import them that way. You have to copy them in the folder. So if we scroll down to the particle area, which is around here, see now mine shows up, but you scroll down, you'll see them, they start with E, and you kind of see the rain, snow, and you can just kind of cycle through these. So what you can do to get started, just go ahead and export it and go ahead and save it somewhere. I saved it in a folder, and it makes okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. It makes this, so it exports this out. It does not export this folder, which you're gonna need. So what you do is you just want to, I found the easiest way to find this is just copy this here up until I believe here, small game builder. Just gonna copy that and then open up a folder and then just paste it up here, hit enter. So that'll take you straight to your where your game is saved. They are here in samples, and they are saved in common, res for resources, and then character, and then 3D, and then particle. So here you have all these. So you want to have this window open, right? So we go ahead and pull up this is what we made, this one here. You're not going to have this, but this is going to be named whatever you exported. So say we exported glow D, it's going to be called glow D, right? Okay, so first what you want to do is go ahead and create the folder texture. I mean, actually you don't have to create the folder, it's just you're going to move it into another folder anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so go ahead and open up the notepad, and then you want to come down to the bottom. There's going to be two sections where you're going to change the name, and actually there's going to be one section, but this one here has two particle effects, and you can tell because it ends here, and then here the second one starts. So if you didn't have this, then you would just do one, but we have two, so we got to make sure we change the texture name at the very bottom. What does that mean? So each one of these has an image in this texture folder. See, and that's where I made the flowers, and this is where I made the fire, and you can kind of see the different ones, right? And so they would be named whatever these are. So here, it's not going to be in this folder because this is the system, but in your other folder that I'll show you how to get to in a second, you're going to have those. So I started out with this Sparks one. Let me go back. I started out with the Sparks one. I believe it was that one. And so when I went into texture, it's called the same, it just has a 02 at the end. And then it has a 01. So this is in two parts. So I just copy that here, and then I brought it into Photoshop, and then I just colored it. It's nothing fancy. I just kind of like did something so I can show you what how it works. Then make sure you rename your stuff, and then just name it kind of similar. Here I just named it test, and then I went next in line. So we have 23 particles, so I just went and named it 24. And so here I named it the same, and then test 01, test 02. And then when I went in here, I made sure that I changed test 01, and then the second particle, test 02. So really here you just kind of mess with all these settings if you want things to go fast, you want things huge or small. And so like I'm gonna these were kind of floating, so here, random colors, emitter size, emitter amount. Let me go ahead and do linear velocity. So I'm gonna do -10, -10, and -20. It doesn't matter, just changing something. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. So once you have this ready, you want to go into your folder. You can close this one out. You can't copy it in here because it won't read it. Close that out, and you're gonna open your another folder, and you're gonna go into where the Smile Game Builder is actually installed. And normally that gets installed like in your documents under Smile Boom, depending on where you set it up. You're gonna have to find it, go to SGB RPG, and then go into the name of your game. This one was just called Tutorials, and then Res, and then this might be empty since it's a new file and you haven't really created anything. So you can go ahead and create a folder, call it Character, and then make one, call it 3D, and then make another one, call it Particle, and then here's where you're going to copy this over and then create a texture folder. This is where all your textures are going to be stored. So I went ahead and copied that over already. So once you have that done, you can go ahead and close that. I wish it would make this easier. And then you want to go ahead and make sure you close this out and then reopen it. I'm going to go ahead and reopen the project. Whoops. So now it should have loaded in your particles area. So when you set something down, again, let's just pick one. It just doesn't matter. Just gonna put the rain one. We're gonna go to change graphic, and then this is the one that I made, the 24 test. So you can kind of see that's not very good. But yeah, you can mess with the settings and stuff. Hit OK, and then we'll see it in the world. This one's not very good. Let's go ahead and make the floor white so we can kind of see it better. I don't know if you can. Go ahead and play test. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully that helped you guys, and I will catch you next time. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing.